Yeah. Thank you. Basically. It's good to have belief out there, you know.
Hey, you've got water today. All right.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Reminder, there are no recordings during the press conference. Please make sure to silence all cell phones and electronic devices. And then when you get the mic to ask a question, give your name and affiliation. We're joined by Florida head coach Tim Walton and player Jocelyn Erickson. Keegan Rothrock will join us in a minute. We'll have an opening statement from Coach Walton and then open it up to questions for everybody since Keegan will join us in a minute. So if you have an opening statement.
First, just congratulations to Alabama. Obviously marching through regional, super regional, and getting to this point to all their seniors, just a great career. I thought we didn't do a whole lot different today. I mean, I know that the scoreboard didn't indicate that. But we didn't do a whole lot different. I thought our players played a little bit more confidence. Obviously got some better swings on pitches, got a lot more hits, but the prep was the same. Everything was the same. I think it's obviously a little bit different sometimes in elimination games than it is in winners bracket games. But I thought we did a good job, and congratulations to Jocelyn Erickson breaking a school record that stood for a long time with RBIs in a season. So congratulations to her and her teammates for getting on base. Big day.
All right, we'll open up questions for everybody. Okay, we'll go front row left here.
Katie Wyndham with Bama Central. For Jocelyn, just when they brought in Ailey Johnson to face you, just kind of what were you thinking with her being a change-up pitcher, and how were you able to kind of time her up to hit that home run?
Yeah, I mean, we were prepared for any of their pitchers. We had faced them earlier in the season, so we knew what they threw. And she had pitched me multiple change-ups already, so I was just ready to do something big for my team.
More questions? Okay, we'll go front row left.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Early on, what was kind of the difference you were seeing from Keegan in the circle compared to yesterday, and maybe just how that kind of boosted her confidence early on?
Yeah, I think she just came out. She turned the page. She was hitting her spots better, more focused, more determined. It's a learning curve yesterday. It's her freshman year, so I'm really proud of her for turning the page.
We'll go second row left.
Nick Sardis with the Oklahoman. Jocelyn, you got OU coming up, obviously your former team. What's your outlook heading into that game, and just emotionally, what do you think that's going to be like for you?
As a team, I think we're just doing the same thing that we always done, playing the same game that we've played our whole entire lives. I think it's going to be fun, seeing some old friends. It's going to be definitely competitive, semifinals, so we're getting after it.
More questions? Okay, we go second row on the right here.
Hey, Jocelyn, Chris Harry, FloridaGators.com. Just what was it? Did it feel like normal, Corby's on base 4 times. You got traffic up high in the order. Did it just feel kind of more like Gator baseball or softball today? Right.
Yeah, my teammates did a really good job of getting on base. That's what we've been doing all season. So yeah, I would say more normal. And I'm really happy that they were doing that.
Right, Keegan has now joined us. We have any questions for Keegan now that she's here? Anybody? All right, we'll go second row right again. Yeah.
Keegan, what'd you have going and in the 6th inning when they had a little bit of threat going? How'd you get settled in at that point?
I think just knowing that I have a great defense behind me and getting them the outs that they need and the outs that we need to get out of the inning, I think that's the biggest thing to remember in those situations.
Right, we'll stay second row right.
Just to follow up on Jocelyn, when I asked you about the runners on base, so the last couple games that hasn't been the case. How did you all fix that, you think, to get things going a little bit more offensively?
I think we were just playing with more confidence today, trusting each other, passing the bat. We had played this team before in season, so that helped with it as well. But I think we were just trusting each other better today.
All right. Go front row left.
For Coach Walton, I know Jocelyn just said that, y'all were prepared for all their pitchers, but were you kind of surprised to see Alabama use 3 pitchers today, or is it a team that y'all have already faced? Was it maybe a little more expected?
Yeah, we had. I actually thought Brisky was going to start today, just given kind of some of the matchups here recently. But with a day off yesterday, everything made sense. I'm one of those, I don't really put too much stock into what the other team does. They know their team better than I do. We just got prepared. We'd prepared for Ailey Johnson last time with a lot of film and some prep there too. And she didn't pitch against us in the series down there. But I think overall, I just give our kids credit. Jocelyn and Corby, they do as good a job as preparing. And I mean, if there's any 2 hitters on our team that that know the other team's pitchers and their tendencies and things like that, it's those 2.
More questions? Okay, second row right again.
For Tim, you said.
Do we have any more for the players?
I was going to.
Okay, yeah, players, I think you're good.
Tim, you said earlier that it's a little different in elimination games, the prep going in, or where you said just maybe more relaxed or whatever. Do you think maybe the desperation factor a little bit, or what do you think makes it different? What did you mean by that, really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say anything that's gonna sound negative, but Texas was really good yesterday, and they weren't playing today. I think that's the difference. To be honest with you, we came out, we were prepped, ready to go yesterday. They were just really good. They played really well yesterday, so I give them more credit than I take away from our kids. We hit some balls on the screws yesterday. I think Jocelyn Erickson's ball was hit at over 80 miles an hour to right field, makes a great play. Skylar hits one at 78. Kid makes a good play. I mean, there's a lot of things that happened well for them yesterday. We just found a way to get some hits better today. And but I don't think it really had to. It had to do with the Gators, but I think it really had to do more with the circumstances of the team who played yesterday.
All right, we'll go front row left now.
Just Jocelyn's season overall, it's really like how special is it and just her approach at the plate and how it translates to all these RBIs.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, 84 of them, that's a ton. That's a lot of RBIs. Everything's a combination of things when you work in the preseason, just what you can do. One of the things you always consider all the way through our preseason stuff, forget about August, but in our preseason, we didn't have her catch any doubleheaders. She was all single game stuff, trying to, preserve her for this. Down the road, she's caught every game. She's caught pretty much every game from Sundays on. She's done a really good job, but it's been just fun to watch a kid like that not only has talent but has work ethic, has competitiveness, has good teammate tendencies too, where she does a good job. She doesn't, when she's getting hit, she's not more cheery and rah-rah, and when she's not getting hit, she's not more down. She's a good teammate. She handles her business well. I feel like, again, I'm obviously not her teammate, I'm her coach, but I feel like she's just a really professional softball player. She handles her business well, and it's a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you.
Okay, we'll go back to the second row on the right.
Tim, you opted for some lineup changes, and sure enough, like I mentioned to Jocelyn, you get Corby on base 4 times. Is that kind of the spark do you think you guys needed maybe going forward a little bit?
Yeah, it was Kendra's idea. So just to be honest with you, I'll give Kendra Falby credit. She just said, "Hey, we just got to do something different, coach." And so I give her credit for that. Being able to be, mindful of the team and understanding just we got to get on base, especially at the top. And then give Avery Gales a little credit. Comes off, hasn't had a start in a long time, and got her second postseason hit and a really nice hit, and it was just pretty cool to see, a senior like that, a good teammate, one of our leaders, just to be able to pick her team up when we needed it the most.
All right, we'll go second row left.
Can you just kind of, give your thoughts on this OU team that you're getting ready to face, and how familiar are you with OU, and just kind of give your outlook on this game?
Yeah, I didn't even know who we were playing tomorrow, to be honest with you. So I told my team that same thing. We got one game to focus on, our opponent. I couldn't tell you even the time. We were just really, everything was poured into this game. I know they've had an outstanding season. I've got to catch them a couple times. I'm not the scouting report guru. So obviously they're very mature, very old team, very professional team. They've done a lot of really good things for the game of softball. Just the way they've just amplified everything about the sport, the professionalism. Coach Gasso obviously, has been just phenomenal for not only the softball, but the Division I softball, but also for the state, and really brought some great. There's a lot of Sooner fans in this state. Obviously, they love winners, and they come out and support her and their program, and it'll be good. I'm excited for the matchup. To be honest with you, you're going to come to the College World Series and you get an opportunity to play Oklahoma. You're doing something right, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, we now have one from Eric Lopez on Zoom.
Eric Lopez, D1 softball coach. Keegan, what did you see there in that seventh inning to close that game out like she did after dealing with that Alabama lineup?
Yeah, she did a really good job. Obviously, Eric, getting the leadoff hitter on base. She's been a thorn in everybody's side this postseason, Tennessee's included. She's just had a great postseason. But I thought her location was better in the first inning. Obviously I'm not in that close. That's the one thing about the World Series. The dugouts are really close, but her drop ball movement was really good in the first inning, especially on Cahalan. And then she had some really good speed differentials on her rise ball. I believe it was with Giles potentially, but that was really good. Fun to see. That's Keegan Rothrock for me. Just multiple speeds, much better location than yesterday. And so just gave up a couple runs, but obviously we contributed a little bit of that too.
Any more questions for Coach Walton? All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Go Gators.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started. A reminder that there are no recordings during the press conference. Please silence all cell phones and electronic devices and give your name and affiliation whenever you get the mic to ask a question. We're joined by Alabama head coach Patrick Murphy and Alabama players Kayla Beaver, Bailey Dowling, and Jenna Johnson. We'll have an opening statement from Coach Murphy and then go to questions just for players. Players will leave, and then we'll go back to questions for just Coach Murphy. So if you have an opening statement.
Okay, thanks a lot. Hey, I just want to say thanks to all of you for what you do for college softball. If you don't write about us, post about us, televise us, nobody knows what a great sport we have. So you do a great service for us. So thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody in the room. And then, I just told the team, I tried to think of a good analogy for this group. And, when you watch a show or a TV show, and probably a lot of you have seen Lucille Ball. Maybe not. Maybe nobody has seen it. But there's a scene where they're crushing grapes and they're trying to make wine. And they get to the bottom of the barrel and they have all these grapes they're done. And they have got every single ounce of juice out of those grapes. And that's it. And that is this team. They squeezed every single ounce of being a great teammate, being great leaders, being great reps of the University of Alabama, worked their butts off, and they got here beyond anything that I could ever imagine. And it's been one of the most enjoyable teams to coach in my career.
Questions for players? Okay, we go front row left.
Just for all three of the players, since y'all are seniors, for Jenna and Bailey, your fifth year getting to do it. For Jenna and Kayla getting to do your fifth year, and then Bailey, just what was it like this season? What are you going to remember about this season, and then getting to finish it here in Oklahoma City?
Well, first I got to give all the glory to God, because He's the only reason I'm standing here today. I want to thank Him for my career, this season. It was a hard season, but man, was it so rewarding. I got to end my career at the World Series. I've been 3 times. I'm just so thankful sitting up here today. The opportunity to play with my sister, the way that this season has taught me so much about faith. I've always had faith in Jesus, but this taught me about faith in people and buying into something that you couldn't see. Because there were some times, and I won't lie to you guys, throughout the season where we were like, what do we do? How do we get everybody together? And we had many team meetings, but we found a way to bring it together, to click at the right time, and now we're at the World Series when nobody chose us, and we're here.
This was the most fulfilling team I think I've ever been a part of in my life. Not one time during the season did we quit on each other, and it got hard. And like Jenna said, we got to points where we didn't know what to do, but we never gave up, and we kept fighting for each other, and we fought to get here when nobody thought we'd get here. And I couldn't be more grateful for God making this my senior year and ending here with these girls.
I think about where I was a year ago, and it's these girls right here and everybody else on this team, this staff. They gave me the love back. I wanted to quit. I didn't want to do it anymore. But they fought for me, and they let me come in, and they made me one of their sisters, and I could not be more proud for what this team has done, what we've accomplished this year. Nobody, and whenever I say nobody, except for us, thought we would be here. And we did it. We proved so many people wrong. We created a legacy for Alabama softball and for girls to come in and look up to. And I just couldn't be more thankful for the coaching staff here for giving me a chance. God put me here. He did. And it was the full circle life moment from a year ago, and getting to be here with this team, it was incredible. And getting to finish my season at the World Series, we're in the A. There's nothing that'll ever beat that.
More questions for players? All right, I think that'll do it for players. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Questions for Coach Murphy? Okay, we go front row left.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Murph, could you kind of go into what the pitching plan was today and how long you wanted to ride Kayla, and just after that?
About like we did. I think she got through 4 full, right? And they're such a good hitting team. I just think you have to show them different looks. And I think when she left, was it 2-2? And we had full faith in everybody else. The walks hurt us a little bit. because they're going to get their hits, but you can't give up freebies. And I don't think we had an error, did we? Which one? Oh, the short one. Okay. So you can't give them anything extra. You can't walk them. And if they get a hit early and then you walk another one, that's just digging a really big hole. So right here.
Okay, sorry.
Just kind of going off that, was bringing in Ailey to face Jocelyn Erickson a matchup thing with the changeup?
Yes, and a couple of our changeups were just got a little high. But she's a great hitter, you know. And she was awesome in the 7th, and actually we had the tying run at the plate in the 6th. You know, as a coach, that's what you ask for. Just give me the tying run up to bat, and let's see what happens. And we had bases loaded, I think, and 1 out. So just maybe 1 hit short there, because I really thought we were going to do it in the bottom of the 7th.
More questions, front row left again.
Coach, the girls, spoke on what this season meant to them, but you tell me what, Team 28 means to you and how you'll remember it.
I think everybody can. It started with football, and they lost to Texas, and they had a lousy game against South Florida, and then they just kept getting better and better and better. And I love being a spring sport because I get to learn from the fall sports. And then here comes basketball, and they had a couple rough outings, and then they pull it together, and nobody thought that they could get to the Final Four. And Nate Oates takes his team for the first time ever, Alabama basketball, to the Final Four. And I'm looking back thinking, we can do that. We can do the same thing. And any coach that has a rough start or a rough go or whatever, you don't give up on a team. You don't give up on anybody. And you said, you heard them. They did not give up on each other. Nobody quit. Everybody kept working. And it started to kind of reveal itself a little bit. We played better. And then Rhodes magic for regionals. And then, you saw what happened in super regionals. And I thought we played really well down the stretch. And it's a team whose legacy is going to be, they did not give up on each other. They kept working. It doesn't matter what you do, regular season. You get a whole new start, and you can start fresh. And I think they proved to everybody that, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. A great lesson for a lot of teams.
More questions? Okay, we'll go front row left again.
This was the first season being able to have the third assistant, kind of having a dedicated hitting coach. You talked in the past about maybe having too many cooks in the kitchen in that regard. Kind of what differences did you see this year offensively with having a dedicated hitting coach?
I think it was a good relationship building year because, somebody knew. And, at the end of the game, I think we had 5 sophomores in the lineup. So we're a young team still. And the more that they learn from him, he learns from them, the relationship, because you cannot automate a relationship. You can go to Panera and it's automated order. You cannot automate relationships. So you cannot do that. So it's going to start one-on-one. And I thought he did a good job of that early in the fall, but it's just, you got to build that trust with a hitter because everybody's different. Their approaches are different, their mental games are different, and you got to learn. We had 16, so he's got to learn 16 different people, different personalities, what makes them go. You got to learn what motivates them, and that's just going to keep getting better and better and better.
Any more questions? Okay, we'll go front row left again.
Could you kind of go into what Kayla and Jocelyn's relationship was this year and how Jocelyn can continue on her career with the advice she got from Kayla?
Well, Beaver, you saw that she has this big personality and she's got a big heart, and she's like that in the bullpen. So everybody got to see what she did on a daily basis. And we did have 6, but Lauren Essman had a pec injury, so she didn't get to pitch for the last 3 months, really. And so we had 5 pitchers on a daily basis in the bullpen, and, Beaver's love for the school just shined brightly every single day. I mean, you saw that she just loved Alabama. And it's really fresh to see that on a kid who's, it's her 5th year. And we could have senioritis, which senioritis is, I'm done with softball. I'm tired. I know I have a job. I'm going to get married. I want to be done with this. And not one of those 9 seniors did that, including her. And I think that's kind of what propelled us as well late in the season.
Any more questions? All right, thank you.
Thanks a lot, you guys. I hope to see you next year.